1.5 points is the spread in this game. Buffalo coming in the dog here as this line opens. 66% of the money line bets are now coming in on the Buffalo Bills so far. 63% of the spread, and on the over-under of 47.5, 67% of the money is on the over as well. So people liking Buffalo, and they're liking a lot of points here. Ian, really quick, man, how do you view this matchup? I mean, a lot of people said the Bills versus the Ravens was the Super Bowl winner coming out of there. Is it going to be true?
As far as I'm personally concerned, I hope that comes true. I absolutely do hope that part does come true, just from the personal side. But like you said, I'm going to keep my personal biases out of this. I guess just quick instant reaction to hearing that the line's only 1.5 tells me that Vegas has a little bit more faith in Buffalo than I think a lot of people probably expected them to have, because having Kansas City at home for the seventh straight AFC championship, you would think that Kansas City would come in at least a -3, -3.5. But the fact that initially the reports are coming out saying that it started at -1.5, I think that means that Buffalo is finally getting their credit where I do believe that it is due. I think a lot of national pundits needed to come out and eat a little bit of crow saying, oh, Josh Allen and the Bills, this is going to be the worst that they're going to look in 5 years. They don't have any talent. They've been under mismanaged, blah, 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 blah. And all these other people are like, where did they ever say that? Guys, we have you in 4K. Shout out Emmanuel Acho. But 4K, at least you came out and said that you were wrong. I will give you credit. You at least backtrack. Same with you, Trey Wingo. Proud of you guys. You at least bit some crow there. But I think overall, you watch this season, and it almost felt like destiny that this would come at it once again here. Watching the game that happened early on in the year, having Buffalo win by 9 to snap that win streak that Kansas City had. Obviously, Denver putting the second loss in their column. Mind you, they were not playing any of their major starters, to be fair there, Bryson. But hey, still, a win is a win and is a win in the NFL. You take what you can, you give nothing back. But I think, when Patrick Mahomes went up to Josh Allen and said, we'll see you guys in the playoffs, and even when Josh Allen kept reiterating it back in week 11, it felt like there was no other way that this could end for these two teams. I'm so glad that this is the matchup that we got. Buffalo, they're going to come in. They have probably most of America on their side. They have vengeance on their side. But Kansas City has a history. Well, not the refs. Trust me, we'll get into that during the actual show, not here right now, because I've got too much time to go off on that. But again, it's one of those, if not now, when. Buffalo, they're 0-3 against Kansas City in the playoffs, but they're 4-1 against them during the regular season. Something has to give here, and I'm hoping that Buffalo can get it done, but there's a reason why Kansas City has hosted the AFC Championship 7 straight years.
With all that said, Mr. Bryson Owens, I do want to ask you, brother, the quarterback matchup here, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, who would be your guy right now? If you said, hey, game-winning drive, 2 minutes left, Josh Allen against that defense, Mahomes against that defense, who do you trust to get this done? And I only ask that because we saw what happened last time, my brother. Josh Allen and the boys, not even Josh Allen, the defense cost me $6,000, brother, because they gave Pat Mahomes 13 seconds. I don't know how the hell you score in 13 seconds, but he got it done. So, game-winning drive, less than 2 minutes. Which team do you trust here?
Which team do I trust is different than which quarterback do I trust. I think, even if it is different to some people's opinions, I'm actually going to say the Chiefs for both, largely there's a lot of reasons why. One of which is just, I've seen it happen too many times. It's like, it's like the old debates when you had Brady versus Manning in the playoffs. Which quarterback would you want in a game-winning drive between those two? The answer was always Tom Brady, as annoying as that was, because Tom got it done more often than Peyton did for a long time in their careers. And this is just the same thing. I've seen Patrick Mahomes, and I know he's statistically, this hasn't been his best year of his career. Obviously, it's been one of his worst. And I know that everyone's like, they're down on Travis Kelce. They're down on the receiving unit that Kansas City has. But Travis Kelce is a different human being in the playoffs. We saw that in the last game, going off for as many big plays as he had against Houston. And as bad as Mahomes has been in spurts this year, he's still been arguably the best quarterback in the entire league on third downs and in the fourth quarter. So if you need a quarterback who can win you a football game when all looks lost and you just need someone. They have the most wins. They have the best record and most wins in NFL history when down by double digits at any point in the game. That's Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes he gets it done. Whenever you expect him to not get it done, whenever it looks too bleak for Kansas City, somehow Mahomes pulls it out. So unfortunately, I would like to say that Buffalo Bills, and last week really didn't make me feel any more confident in Buffalo as much as I want to be confident in them in this game. That game against the Ravens really didn't make me feel super confident about them in this game. When you looked at Kansas City, after their guys not playing for almost a full month, and defensively specifically, they looked like the best defense in the NFL against Houston. Last week was more encouraging.
But you did say, sorry to interrupt you, but you did say that Houston was kind of like the weakling, right? Like they didn't really belong. Like, didn't you kind of expect that offense to struggle against Kansas City?
Oh, 100%, but I didn't expect it to struggle to that degree. Like, I was expecting at least some rust by the Kansas City Chiefs that Houston could take advantage of. They had Nico Collins, Joe Mixon, who's always played well against the Kansas City Chiefs, but that Chiefs defense, it's healthy now. Watson's back as the number 2 corner, so their cornerback duo is back. Chris Jones looks healthier than he's ever looked this entire season, which is terrifying for a defensive line. So whether it's the defense, whether it's Mahomes in the clutch, whether it's Kelsey in the playoffs, whether it's Reed versus McDermott, I trust the Chiefs to get it done more than I trust the Bills, as painful as that is for me to say.
Well, I will say, I don't give a damn what these boys did last week. I am not on the Kansas City Chiefs in this game. I'm all over the Buffalo Bills here, and I am not a fan of the Buffalo Bills. Let me just go ahead and throw that on out there. I'm a Josh Allen fan, however, and I do believe that Josh Allen is outplaying Mahomes right now. There's something in that boy, and Ian kind of mentioned it when he said that they came in and everyone wrote him off and Diggs was gone. And how you doing, Stefan? How's it going, brother? How's life? Yeah, well, anyway, here they are now. This is a dude, and I said it, Ian, I'll never forget it, brother. I said it in week 1 when Josh Allen had that hurdle over the Arizona Cardinals and he scored that touchdown. I said, that's a man on a mission. That boy is coming for it all, dog. You can say what you want. He's my MVP. I believe he's going to win the MVP. He got it done against Lamar again last week and just kind of proved like, hey, like you can give that guy the MVP, but let's be real here. I'm doing it with less weapons. I'm doing it my way. Josh Allen to me is the guy. I just feel like Mahomes all year long. We've been saying it since the beginning when they're 10-1 and they're 15-2 and we're all like, yeah, but they're not that good. Like Bryson, you mentioned it. They find ways to win. I know, but like if you really watch, they're not that good, in my opinion. Like, and to be fair, the Bills don't have a bunch of weapons either, but something to me says I have to take the dog in this game. And the dog is the Buffalo Bills. So for me, I'm going Buffalo. I'm going to go Buffalo money line right now, sitting at plus 105. You can find it as low as plus 110. I don't think it's going to get much lower than that, folks. So maybe grab it here early in the week. But I'm also taking the 1.5 points because we saw how this ended last time. 24, 23, 28, 27. It's all over the board in this game. So actually, give me the 1.5. But if you ask me who's going to win, I like Josh Allen. I like the fire-breathing dragon, as I'm going to call this boy this week, to get this thing done. But with that said, Bryson Owens, are you going to rock with Patrick Mahomes?
I really want to take the Bills because I just want someone to end this whole thing for the Chiefs. But I've kind of said it all year for Kansas City. Until I see it actually happen, it's really hard for me to bet against the Kansas City Chiefs, especially in the playoffs. And I mentioned last week did not make me feel any more confident in the Buffalo Bills. The Baltimore Ravens ran for almost 180 rushing yards on the Buffalo Bills defense. And I know that the Chiefs don't have the same running game as Lamar and the Ravens do, obviously, but they still have a good enough running game between Pacheco and Hunt, and Mahomes is a more mobile quarterback than people often think he is. Like, they could run on the Buffalo Bills. And then you mentioned earlier, Riggs, the Bills don't exactly have great weapons. Like the wide receivers in that game against Baltimore were nowhere to be seen. I know it was a snow game and they didn't ask Josh to throw the ball a ton, but the wide receivers were a non-factor. And these are better corners than they played against Baltimore. Like McDuffie and Watson are an incredible corner duo. I just think it's really tough. And whenever these two teams play in the playoffs, it always feels like Sean McDermott does something weird at some point in the game where you're like, Sean, I don't know if you should make that call. He's going to go for it on 4th down, or he's going to punt when everyone thinks he should go for it on 4th down or something like that. So
shout out Mike Tomlin. All right, I took one day.
I think something weird's going to happen. And when weird things happen, it always happens for the Chiefs. So I'm going to say the Chiefs win the game as hoping for reverse psychology, hoping for the opposite to happen. I would absolutely love to be wrong about this, but until someone knocks the Chiefs off, I can't bet against them.
I do want to throw out really quickly that I'm glad you brought up Sean McDermott, because I said on a show last week, and I don't remember if I was with you. I think I was with Jalen on that show, but I was talking about how I was so hard on McDermott last year. I mean, Bryson, it might have been you and I on the clip, maybe not, talking about if McDermott should be fired from the Buffalo Bills last year, because we were watching it. We were like, dude, like, it's just never enough. Like, he's not getting it. Shout out Harbaugh. Like, he's not getting enough done for my liking. And I will say this year with Sean McDermott, I've been a lot higher on his praise. I think he deserves the praise. I think this year he did it with less weapons. I think he's made a lot better decisions. He's handled the clock a lot better. So I do agree with you that if it's him or Andy Reid, how often do we see Andy Reid make a coaching error? It doesn't really happen, right? So I do agree with you. If it's one of the two, it's McDermott. But I will say I trust McDermott a lot more right now than I have over the past 2-3 seasons for me personally. But with that said, Bryson, painfully going Chiefs. I'm going Buffalo Bills. Ian McClintock, is there any way you're about to reverse psychology us and take the enemy? Is it going to happen here?
Why in the world would I give that team from Missouri any kind of chance? Why in the hell would I go against my laurels? Why would I go against what has got me here to the dance? I get what they've been able to do. But Bryson, you said it. They're one of the best teams at coming back from double-digit deficits. There's a couple different things that you could look at with that situation. Whether you want to believe in certain antics or not, that's entirely up to you. But they get some very fortunate calls their way. But also, I do believe that a lot of other teams do. I just think it gets highlighted when Kansas City does because of the timing of when those penalties occur. And it just happens to be a little bit more beneficial for Kansas City in those situations. But I have to think there was one time they were down by double digits and they didn't come back. And that was against Josh Allen and the boys.
Folks, we will be live for you guys sometime during this next week here before the games. It very well will be on game day. If it's not, it'll be sooner than that. We'll have announcements for you guys on our social media, Twitter and Instagram at Sports Forum CO, YouTube at The Sports Forum. But I do want to ask you guys today, and once again, we will have a chance to tweak these scores a little bit, but just your final score prediction, and we're up out of here. Bryson Owens has this one in.
I think it's going to end 27-23 Chiefs.
McClintock.
27-24 Buffalo.
Damn it. He took my score. 27-24 Buffalo. T-Bass for the win, baby. I'm loving it. So, hey, good luck to you guys. Once again, we'll see you guys later on. And make sure to check out sportsforummedia.com article for this game and the NFC Championship as well up for you guys. Good luck, everybody.